Hello everyone, this is Seah. Once again, thanks for joining me today. And today I have two very similar machines in front of me, and this one on my right is actually the generation 1 of the Gemilai 3007L, and on the left this is the new boys, which is actually the 3007Z. Right, so without further ado, let's first part, let's do a comparison on the physical outward appearance of what the machine, how are they similar to each other and how are they different from each other. Right, so without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see, in appearance, in physical outlook, they look almost exactly identical to each other. They still do have the pressure gauge that's on the same location as the 3007 L, right? So both still have the pressure gauge here, and the design is still a 3-button design, whereby this is the power, this is the manual button, whereby you can actually physically start and stop, and this is the programmable button. And on this side, you can see both sides are still the same. This is actually your your control center here, whereby you can actually control the pre-infusion timing, as well as your brew temperature. So this is all the same. The steam knob is still at the same position, right? The steam wand is still at the same position, right? Of course, the 3007L comes with a 3-tip steam wand, whereas the 3007Z comes with a 2-tip steam wand. The second difference that you can see physically from the outward appearance is actually the old machine, which is a 3007L, only has the flow meter controller here, whereby you have some sort of ability to control how much water you want to flow per second or per 10 seconds, right? So I'll go more into depth about this one, right? You can actually use this to control sort of the pressure that you're getting from your machines, right? So you can reduce or increase the flow to achieve the pressure that you want. So this is on the old machine, whereby you can control the flow. On the new 3007Z, you do have the flow control, which allows you to control the flow of water, and on top of that, you have additional control over the pressure, which I'll bring you very shortly over here. Right, you can see you have a turn knob here, which allows you to control the pressure that you want. So I also will be doing a quick video on how to actually adjust the pressure. So this one allows you to have a little bit more control. In fact, this is something that's pretty major, which allows you to fix at a certain pressure or limit the pressure on how high you want to go. And initially I want to do an unboxing, but if you want to watch unboxing, right, you can watch the initial unboxing of this machine over here at the link, because they are technically the same. All the accessories that comes with both machines are exactly identical. It comes with a double spouted portafilter with plastic handle. Right, I've upgraded mine with a wooden handle, and this you can easily replace if you can find in your region. There's people that sell the wooden handle. We do have some of these. We do import some of these ourselves. So if you're interested, do let us know. If you get a machine from us, there's an optional upgrade whereby you can upgrade the handle there. And it does come with, I believe, a pitcher, and as well as back flush disc. Don't hold me wrong, because the unboxing has been done quite some time ago, but you can see that my set is still a brand new set. Okay, first of all, let me remove all the tape that's actually taping onto the machines. The current set that you're seeing is actually the gray and orange button model. Right, that is actually a laser. This is actually the film that protects the laser cutting. So let me remove that as well. It is always quite satisfying removing all these packaging or wraps. Right, so very good stainless steel. It does the job. Right, it has a floater inside to indicate the water level The drip tray is not exactly very deep, similar to the previous version with 3007L and Z. They are exactly the same. It doesn't hold a lot of water, but you know, this is a relatively small machines, so you don't expect you do have to empty the drip tray quite often, right? So the last thing here, let's remove this. Okay, so and one more thing here, which is actually the protection for the LCD screen over here. Okay, so basically that is done. So right, the first thing we want to test is actually the time to heat up to a certain temperature. Is there any difference between these two machines? So these two machines are all cold. I did not heat up or use any of these two machines today. So I'm just going to fire up both machines at the same time. Right, the pump runs a little bit longer because I think it is drawing water into the tank. So you can see that initial trying to draw the water by using the vibratory pump. So that is the reason why you can hear the more noisy pump for the newer version, and that's definitely not because it is more it is equipped with a more a noisy pump. Right, currently from the meter, I can see that 3007Z heats up faster. Right now, we are already at 40, and the old 3007L is only at about 37 degrees Celsius. Right, so as you can see, there is a difference there in terms of heating power. The newer version is definitely heating up much faster, right? There's about 10 degrees difference right now. Okay, the machine of 3007Z has already reached 94 degrees Celsius, whereas the generation 1 is only reaching at about 85, 86 degrees Celsius. So definitely the 3007Z is faster in terms of heating up to temperature. Right, another difference that it's not, you can't tell from the physical appearance is the ability to change temperature. The older version, the Gemilai 3007L, you are able to change the PID temperature just by pressing the plus down, and you can see that the figure will start to flash. And by pressing plus or minus, you're able to adjust the temperature of your brew. Whereas for the 3007Z, right, if you hold the plus down, right, you will see two different settings there. Right, H1s, right, if you leave it and don't touch anything, it allows you to adjust the brew temperature. Let's set it to 93, right, and there's one additional setting, right, which is H2, right. This allows you to change the temperature of your steam. So you can actually set it to, let's say we set it to 135, or you know, I think the highest it ever goes to, it's 147 degrees Celsius. So that when you receive the machine, I believe that the preset is at 147. And if you find that the steam is too powerful, you can actually reduce your steam temperature there. So let's leave it at 135 degrees Celsius. Right? And if you hold on the minus on both machines, let's hold on the minus for, right? Again, there's a P1 and P2. Right? So this is the P1. This allows you to control the pre-infusion. Right, let's say we set it at 6 seconds. Let's do the same on the older version, and we will do a very quick test on what is the major difference between the two pre-infusion system on the newer one and the older one. Right, before we do any tests, I would like to measure the current flow rate on both machines. I will want to set flow rate to be the same on both before I actually start doing anything. So I'm going to use the manual button to start and stop. I will be measuring about 10 seconds to see how much I can get in about 10 seconds. And then I can measure the milliliter per second. All right, so let's go. Right, I'm getting about 60 milliliter per second, per 10 second, which means it's about 6 milliliter of water in every second. So that is the current flow rate set on the 3007L. So let's move over to the 3007Z and to see what is the initial flow rate of the machine when you first unbox it. Alright, so I've not adjusted anything on the flow control. So let's just see how much it extracts in about 10 seconds. Alright, on this current setting is about 40 milliliter per 10 seconds, which means per second it is actually giving out at about 4 milliliters. So it's about 4 milliliters per second. Right, as you can see, you need some sort of a screwdriver here or something flat to actually turn this. And I wish they can actually upgrade this to something with a turn knob whereby actually you can adjust by using hand. So without the turn knob like the one on the right, at this position whereby actually there is actually a turn knob here, this one doesn't have it. So if they can upgrade this to a turn knob, it'll be a lot easier for me to adjust the flow instead of having to use some other tools to help me, right? All right, so let's first figure out which direction is increasing flow and which direction is actually reducing flow. I get this sort of a Swiss Army knife, and this thing that I think is a beer bottle cap opener here is actually an ideal tool for me. Just have to find the correct position. Be careful, it's hot. Oops. Okay, I got it. So now let's try to make some turn and see how does that increase the flow. So let's give a clockwise turn first. Oops, it's a little bit tricky there. So has to be very careful not to scratch your machine. An upgrade it will be very ideal since you have installed so much ability to tweak the parameters of the machine for us. Why not make it easier, right? So I'm going to turn clockwise. I will probably give a half turn first. Right, so this is a half turn, and then let's see how much water now it emits. Right, in about 10 seconds, I'm getting about 60 milliliters. So which means by turning clockwise, you're actually increasing the flow. So this is actually ideal of what I want. I'm actually hitting about the same flow rate as the previous generation, the 3007L. Right, so for the final part on the first part of the video, we're going to take a look at the pre-infusion setting. So both machine now has been set to pre-infusion of 6 seconds. And then let's see how different is the two pre-infusion setting between the two machines. So there is some upgrade to how the pre-infusion is done on the 3007Z. But first, let's look at how the O1 handle the pre-infusion. Right, stop. So as you can see, basically it just released water at the start and then it stopped releasing water after the entire 6 seconds. So only some water is actually being pushed out at the start, and then after that there's no more water flowing out for the 3007L. And before you do any testing on your pre-infusion setting, first of all, you realize that on your control center here, right, same thing, there's P1 and there's P2, right? So let's talk about P1. Right, P1 currently I've set it to 2 seconds, which means the machine will dispense water with a pump on for 2 seconds. Right. Let's look at my setting for P2. Right, P2 I'm setting this at 6 seconds, and then what it basically means that it will turn on the pump for 2 seconds, and then it will deactivate the pump, and then for the next 6 seconds, and then it will the actual pump will kick in after 8 seconds. So let me repeat that again. So it will first do a pre-infusion for 2 seconds as I ask the machine to set, and after that the water should continue to trickle out for the remaining 6 seconds, which add up to about 8 seconds, and then finally the pump will actually kick in to give you the full 6 milliliter per second kind of flow rate. Right, so now let's look at how it actually works. Right, it trickles. Right, the actual pump kicks in at around 8 seconds, which is accurate. So you must know how to do the setting on your new 3007Z in order for you to get the pre-infusion right. So if you want the pre-infusion to be longer, you have to set the P1 to be longer. So the pump will actually kick in, and then the P2 actually stands for how long you want the pump to be deactivated. So let's see that again. 2 seconds, you can see the pump cuts off. It will run silent for about another 6 seconds. Kicks in again at 8 seconds with a full pump pressure. Right, so basically that's how the 3007Z works on the pre-infusion system. Alright, let's wrap up the main difference and the similarity between the older generation of 3007L and the newer generation of 3000Z. In the first part of this video, I think the main physical difference is, of course, the turn knob for the pressure, which I have not touched yet. I'll cover that in the second part of this video. So the major difference is, of course, the time that it takes to heat up the machines. Apparently, the 3007Z heats up, I would say, 10 degrees Celsius faster than the 3007L. So we can see in the video that we have done early on. Right, so definitely this one heats up faster. The second one is the steam tip. This one comes with a 2-hole steam tip, and the older version of 3007L comes with a 3-hole steam tip. And the last difference is actually the temperature setting on the control center. Right, so in the newer machines, or I should say on the older machine, you can only control the brew temperature, and then you can only control the pre-infusion time setting. Right, and the pre-infusion time setting is a little bit limited. It only squeeze out water for the first part, and then the remaining 5 seconds there's no more water being dispensed. So that doesn't really work as a pre-infusion setting. But whereas on the newer system of 3007Z, you have 2 settings for both the brew temperature as well as the steam temperature. You also have pre-infusion setting for P1 and P2, which represent how much you want the pump to activate to push out the water, and how long you want the pre-infusion to be when the pump is cut off. So this is definitely a much better design in terms of how you can manage the temperature and how you manage the pre-infusion. And anyway, this is what this machine is selling you for. So thank you for watching the first part of this video. If you like my video, do consider subscribing to my channels and like my videos. I'll see you in the next one.